Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by legalized.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are looking at a player props slate tonight, Nate, with 9 games on the schedule to choose from in the NBA here. Go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Got a couple game videos up for you as well that we're really looking forward to tonight. Some good matchups, including that Kyrie Irving and Dallas Mavericks matchup with the Clippers. Also want you to head to thelines.com. Check out all the great written content we're putting up there for you guys, and use that odds finder tool that Nate and I are using every morning to make sure that we're finding the best odds available on all these player props and bets we're making in the NBA this season. Nate, let's go ahead and jump into your first NBA player prop for tonight.
Yeah, it's Kyrie Irving's debut at the Clippers here, and going with the guy who's pretty much the opposite of Kyrie in terms of zero off-court drama or any sort of demeanor other than just being a machine scoring the basketball. But I guess in that sense, they're similar. In any case, I mean, Kyrie's at 27.5 points. Kawhi is at 25.5, and I think he's a far more reliable guy in terms of, where he's going to perform in the margins here. I feel like Kyrie could have 14 to 18 on ridiculously poor shooting, or he could have 50 like he did in his debut with the Nets. But either way, Kawhi's just going to keep doing his thing, which, except when he had a bad game against Milwaukee in that low-scoring slugfest, he's just been utterly unstoppable lately. I mean, last 8, other than that game, 30.5 points per game, 142 offensive rating. That includes one against Dallas. And he's faced Dallas twice this season now, 31.5 points with a 168 offensive rating. DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith was in for one of those games. He's a pretty good option to guard Kawhi. He is obviously gone now. Reggie Bullock was absolutely cooked when he got a chance to try to guard Kawhi, so that's not going to go well. And I mean, Dallas has struggled in general against big wings lately, especially, I mean, really all season, the most points per game and 6 most rebounds to power forwards, and then the 4th most assists to power forwards in the last 15. Kawhi, 6 home games since the start of January. They haven't played much at home at all, but he's getting 28 at home, slightly more. And it's a 50, 40, 90 splits wherever he plays. It's even better on the road for what that's worth. But so 30 points and assists is the better odds here if you want to add something to the points, because I think he's honestly getting like 28, and then you're just tacking on a couple assists, you're getting better odds. Or you can go for him to get 30 and the Clippers to win, plus 215 if FanDuel, like the juice on that one.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, the only thing I have a problem with is that you said Kawhi is not drama, and I would say that he has been a lot of drama. But other than that, I agree with everything that you said, and think that this is a good opportunity for him. I really like the points no matter what. I would like even rebounds in there, as the Mavs are so bad at rebounding, especially when Luka is not even in there. So you could throw those in and feel pretty good about that with Kawhi. I'm going to go under because I want to make sure I get one in here with Myles Turner. Dude's been killing it, by the way. I just want to give him his props for the last 10 games. Even if you narrow it down to the last 6, he's averaging 20 a game and 9.5 boards. So why the hell am I going under, other than he's playing the Miami Heat and specifically playing Bam Adebayo, against Bam in his last 4. By the way, I should say the prop that I like is under 24.5 points and rebounds combined. If you want to throw the assist in there, it's wild that it's at 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists when the dude doesn't get assists. I mean, sometimes he does. He doesn't do it against Bam though. In his last 4 versus Bam, dating back to 3 seasons ago, 10 points a game, 8.8 boards, and 1 assist in that time frame there. There was a game, or there was two games in there that he played against the Heat without Bam, and his numbers are a little bit better, but it's still 13 points a game and less than 10 boards as well there, with less than 2 assists. Miami limits centers to the second fewest points per game and rebounds per game, and is in the top 10 in limiting them to assists as well. And then they're limiting points in the paint, 3-pointers, free throw attempts, all top 10 in the last 2 weeks as well. So I just don't see a scenario where this is a good matchup for him. Myles Turner is also so much worse on the road. He's actually dropping 20 a game with 8 boards at home. On the road, he's looking at 15 a game and 8 boards, with 1.4 assists as well, and that's all in 28 minutes. Gets a few more minutes at home as well. So I just don't trust he's going to even get the playing time or have any ability to get past Bam to get his props tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Miami, great everywhere on defense right now and playing at such a slow pace. What's the total for this game? Yeah,
it's 219 or it's 223 right now. Yeah,
223. Yeah, I mean, I would take unders on a few Pacers here in this spot, especially the guy who's going to have to go up against Bam. So agree wholeheartedly. The other game we break down, Celtics Sixers, and talk about the Celtics' size advantage in the backcourt and how they're going to press that. That's why Malcolm Brogdon is actually who I'm going with here, more so than either of the Jays, who both did have 35 in the season opener against the 76ers. But Brogdon's been doing his thing with or without Marcus Smart since the start of January. He's averaging 16.5 points along with 4.5 boards, 3.5 assists, and then 48, 48, 92 splits. Without Smart in his last 7, still same numbers, same splits, just a few more minutes per game. And, but they average out to that because his last 2 games have been quiet. Blowout against Brooklyn, that gross second half collapse against Phoenix last Friday that we don't really want to think about anymore. So Brogdon only 12.5 points is his prop, which is extremely low. It's something, he's had at least 14 in 7 of his last 8 without Smart, including 26 in a 39-minute outing against the Lakers in that overtime game. I think this is somewhat of a similar matchup against the Sixers. It's a very 2-man game, whatever you want to put it. And then there's 2 great players out there. They're both in the front court. And there's some terrible defenders in the backcourt. And Brogdon will push that. He'll push in semi-transition all the time. The Sixers are the second worst transition team in the league. So, as long as he's getting the minutes per 36, he's getting 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists per game. So the odds are not great on 12.5 points because I think it should be 13.5 if you want to go that route. Or you can tack on rebounds or assists for like 4 more. Because I think he'll be getting closer to 30-plus minutes here in this one.
Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, and I think the bench for Boston should be able to score on this Philly bench as well, which is not great on defense once you throw guys like Montrezl in there and stuff like that. So with your Malcolm Brogdon bet, I would also probably bet on the Jays just in recent history, like you said, one of them. But rather than having to figure out which one necessarily, I think Brogdon has a low prop tonight. So one other guy with a low prop that we're probably welcoming to the show for the first time, Kenyon Martin Jr., KJ here. 13.5 points for the youngster. We're going over on that, minus 110 on DK. Nate's thrown in an idea about a double-double for the kid because it's so juicy, plus 575 on DraftKings for that to happen because he's getting really close, right? And the thought process is he's playing against a really soft Kings team here in the interior in a way that you can probably, just hope for the best and at least take his other prop of points in there. Last 6 for Kenyon Martin Jr., excluding that blowout versus that they played at OKC that just didn't matter after 2 quarters. 17 points a game, 8.5 boards in 31 minutes. Love to see the amount of time he's been getting, especially with certain guys like KPJ out of the lineup for a bunch of them. Double-double in 2 of those last 6 that he's played, 13 rebounds versus Washington and Detroit each. Both really, really soft down low as well, just like these Kings. 18 and 8 on 80% from the field in that loss to Sac in 32 minutes. That was just like a week ago, or not even like a few days ago. And like we said, the Kings allowing 4th most points in the paint on the road. Their opposition points, more than half of them are coming off 2-pointers on the road as well, which is 4th most. And they're allowing the 9th most rebounds per game as well. A bunch of second chance points in there for a guy who's attacking the rim on offense like Kenyon Martin Jr. So I think it's a pretty good opportunity for him and his athleticism to be a problem for guys like DeMontis.
Yeah, the Rockets are still, even with Jalen Green back, finding that identity in terms of just playing hard-nosed front court defense, rebounding. They weren't able to stop Sacramento, but still able to press their advantages on the other end in the paint, and that includes Kenyon Martin, who, I think he gets double-digit points here for sure, and it's just a question of are the Kings going to miss enough shots for him to get 10 rebounds. It's incredibly juicy odds considering it's happened in a third of his last 6 competitive games. So it's worth rolling out there because the Kings actually, aside from that 140, they've regressed a lot when they're on the road. They miss a lot more shots. They tend to go under. I'm not saying take the under here because this involves the Houston Rockets, but I am saying maybe Kenyon gets an opportunity to get 10 boards at least, and you get a handsome payout.
Yeah, worth the odds there for sure, like you're saying. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Check out the other couple game videos we have up for you today as well. And until we see you next, Happy betting.